Hello, everybody. Welcome to the official announcement of the 2025 Veteran Bike Racing Series schedule. Now, before we start, I wanted to get this taken care of as soon as NASCAR, IndyCar, and IMSA had all dropped their schedules. We all know IMSA dropped theirs a long time ago, and then IndyCar, it's been a while, and then NASCAR just dropped it yesterday. And as soon as NASCAR dropped it yesterday, 10 seconds after I read everything, I was working on this shit, and now I have it done. There is one thing for sure that I'm going to have to wait until that weekend, and you'll find out later in the later in the video, but let's get this shit started. So, I'm looking at my Chromebook or computer right now, and um yeah, let's read through the schedule. But another disclaimer that I'd like to say is there are no times for any of the races because, people, my friends have stuff going on and all that. So I'm just going to have to go with the flow on all that. But the dates are announced except for one race, and we'll get to that. But there's also going to be races that the season's going to start in about a month from now. So if you want to call it the 2024 to 2025 season, go right ahead. I'm not stopping you. But I'm just calling it 2025 because that's going to be the thing that sticks in my head and not get me screwed up. So the first race of the 2025 schedule will be on October 12th, 2024. And it's at a place called McCarthy Park. This is the first time we're ever going to a track in the Whitnall area because I might be moving there um, from where I'm at now in case school's not going great. So we're gonna be having 6 races over in that area, and at 2 parks. McCarthy Park at one of them, and both parks tracks are gonna stay the same. So we're gonna have 3 races at McCarthy Park. We're gonna have 3 races at the other park, and they're all gonna be on the same track. I'll let you know on what the other park's name is here in a bit. But yeah, it's gonna be a 30 lap race at McCarthy Park. It's a long track. It's longer than I expected. So I've never been there, but from what I've seen on my Snap Map, because I have Snapchat and I've looked at it through there, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big track. So that's gonna be fun. The second race of the year is Race 100 at the Kazi Mile. It's going to be on October 19th, 2024. It was going to be on October 26th, but I realized Halloween weekend. So it's going to be on the 19th of October this year. And I'm really looking forward to that race. Celebrating 100 years. This is our 8th season. And we're going to have the last season, our 9th, next year. So, yeah, that's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for Race 100. Race 3 is going to be on November 2nd of this year, and it's going to be at the church at Pulaski Park. The church is always a fun track, one of the best tracks we go to. And it was probably the second or third, top 3 track this year. And hopefully it keeps going on the momentum it does. It always puts on a good show. And then race 4, it's going to be on November 9th. It's going to be at Olcott Park. This is the second park that we go to in the Whitnall area. And I'm really excited. This track is kind of similar to a track we did in the past, to the first ever track we ever did in this series, Pulaski Super Speedway. It's kind of similar to that, so we'll see. Once again, we've never been at these parks before, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So race 5, we're gonna have a week break in between Olcott and this track. But on November 23rd of this year, we're gonna be returning to the Baseball Raceway at Kazi. This track hosted the finale back in 2022, and then had one race in 2023, which is a late night race, and we did not have it on the schedule last season. But it'll be back this year twice, earlier on in the season, definitely both in the first half. So it's great to have that track back. Next is race 6 on Black Friday, November 29th. Um, it is at the American Speedway at Cudahy Park. And this track obviously, like these are the tracks that are lower down, lower tier. They're gonna be towards the end of the first part of the season, the 2024 half. But yeah, I like the track. It was fun on the BMX bike. I don't know how it is on the other bike, but yeah, it didn't provide that much of great racing, did it, last season? Oh well, let's see how this year goes. This is probably going to be the last race at Cudahy Park. This race, so yeah. And then race 7, the last race of 2024, coming on December 7th. It'll be around the boot at Pulaski Park, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, it was a kind of a crappy race, but then the finish was actually pretty intense. And as you know, that's going to be Josh Schrank's last ever win last season. So it was a great track. It was on a hiatus for a while, but now it's back, and it put on a decent race last year. Let's see how it goes this year. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. So then we're going to have a winter break after race 7, and then we're going to come back race 8, January 18th of next year, 2025, at the Twister track at Kazi. This track is famous for being AJ Stefanich's last win back in 2023. Last year, we didn't get to run the full length of the track because it was at night, and my mom sucks at those tracks because she's blind. But that's okay. It's going to be a day race that day. So, yeah, we will see. Race 9, we're going back to McCarthy on January 25th. I'm really excited for those races at McCarthy and Olcott Park, but we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be fun, but it's gonna be a bit to get there though, because we're gonna have to figure that out too, how to get there, because this is going to be the farthest races from my home out there. Race 10, this will be on February 8th. It's going to be back at the baseball track. We'll see how this goes. You know, I haven't raced there in, a year and a half already, almost. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to get to go back at that track again. Can't wait, I'm really excited. And then race 11 to end the first half of the year. I wanted to put this on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, because why not? I'm going to have a day off from school, but I forgot where the track is, and that's Olcott. So we're putting it on that weekend, Saturday, February 15th. Hopefully for the 2026 season, we'll have a race on that day. That's my goal. So, yeah, just an FYI. I want a MLK race in the last season. That would be so fun. But yeah, Olcott. Who knows how those races are going to be? Those are going to be the wild card races this year. Then we're going to have an over a month break in between February and March, because the next race will be on March 22nd, race 12. Second half of the season begins now. It is the Pulaski Park Pool, an iconic track. Hopefully it can put on some good racing again, but who knows. Then we're going to have another month break almost, as race 13 will be on April 19th of next year at the parking lot. It's an old abandoned Kmart parking lot here in our area that we're going to be racing at. It's going to be a fun track. I'm really excited for that race. Yeah, I'm super excited. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That's another wild card track, but we have some practice there, unlike the Whitnall tracks. Speaking of Whitnall tracks, race 14 will be at McCarthy Park, May 3rd. Like I said, I can't really speak on it because I've never been there, and same with Olcott. I'll be able to have more of an ability to speak on it for the 2026 schedule, but yeah, like I said, those are the races that I'm really excited for. Besides the big races like the playoff races and Race 100, and then our crown jewel on the July 4th weekend, which we'll get to that. Race 16, this is another track, but this is in our area. It's at Pulaski Park. It's called Batman Speedway on June 15th. It's going to be the shortest amount of laps, but it's because it's a very long track, and that's going to be a part of the track is on a street. So that's going to be a dangerous one, but it's fine. We're going to be okay because that one's going to be run on a Sunday morning. We might have to do it Saturday morning. I forgot there's a Mexican league that comes here. So, yeah. I might have to rethink that one. So it might be June 14th instead of June 15th. But it's a fun track. It looks like the Batman logo. That's why I only call it that. So, we'll see. Also, another thing that I should say, with all the new races, normally we run a 14 race schedule. This time we're running a 22 race schedule, and it's starting in fall of this year, which is different because we normally start it in the spring of next year. So this is a big change for everything, and I'm here for it. I'm ready to have some fun and be healthy again, because I am healthy. My shoulder's fine. I can't wait. Race 17, it's at Olcott again, June 28th. This is the second to last race of the regular season. Going to be fun putting the wild card race there. Can't wait to see how that goes. And then last but not least, race 18, July 4th, Crown Jewel Race Weekend, the 6th running on the Pulaski Park Original Course. Here's the problem. Me and my dad are going to Chicago that weekend for the Cup race, an Xfinity race. So we have no idea I have no idea what day it's going to be. It's going to be a night race. I'll say that. It always is most of the time. There's only been 2 times where it's been a day race. This year and 2022. But it's either going to be on Thursday night the 3rd, Friday night the 4th, which is the most unlikely out of the 4, Saturday night the 5th, which is the most likely out of the 4, and then Sunday night the 6th, which is the second most likely. So we'll see how that goes. That's the big race. I'd love to win at that again. I haven't won there in 3 years. And I'll just go through the guys who have won that. 2020, the first ever running, was Josh, the greatest bike race of all time. The second running, it was me. That was the only time I've won that race. The third running in 2022 was Josh again. That was the most boring one out of all of them. And then the last 2 years back-to-back was Zach, and Zach got his championship at that race. So, yeah, I'm hoping to become the third multi-time winner of that event, as this is the second to last running of it, as you know. As the last running, the 7th, will be the last race ever. So, that's the end of the regular season. Now we get into the 4-race playoffs. Race 19 will be at the Kazi Playground on July 12th. That's always a fun race. That's the only race it has for this season, this upcoming season. And it's late in the going. It is late in the going. It's not normally one race in a season at the playground. Same with the pool. The pool is not normally one race, but the racing has kind of dropped off since the repave, so it's now only one race, even though last year's race was pretty good. So, yeah, one of the best tracks is losing a date because of all the new changes. But that's okay. It'll still put on a great show. Race 20. It's going to be at the church again, July 19th. That is always a fun race. That's always a fun playoff race. It never disappoints. I don't know when the last bad race was at the church. There isn't many. I'll say that. There is not many. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be a fun race. Race 21. Oh, hang on a second. I forgot to talk about a regular season race. My bad. So, race 15. So it's basically a month difference from race 14 at McCarthy. Race 15 is going to be at Sheridan Park, the aquatic long track. It's going to be going around their pool, like all the way around it, all the way around their pool. It's the first time we're doing it there around that track. That's the new track as well. It is really fun to race at. I've never done it yet, obviously, but it's a really fun track. And yeah, I'm so excited for that race. That race is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fast. It's gonna be hard to pass, but it's gonna be a really fast track with some heavy braking zones. But it's gonna be a lot of full throttle, legs pumping. So yeah, I forgot to talk about that race. There's gonna be no Sheridan Park race until late in the season, which is gonna be very interesting. So yeah, um, and and this is what I was gonna bring up now. Race 21 is gonna be at the aquatic short track at Sheridan Park, which put on the best race of the season last year. It was absolutely the best. Every single playoff race so far since how long have we been doing this system for? No, it's been oh yeah, it's been since 2022. There hasn't been many playoff races that have really disappointed. There's I can think of one, and it was the championship that Josh won his first one because he was dominant that year. But yeah, he that's really the only playoff race that's disappointed in my opinion. Every single playoff race since has been insane. So be ready for the playoffs. That's the best time of year for bike racing. But yeah, aquatic short track at Sheridan. It's gonna get two races in the final season. I can guarantee that. And it's gotta be a playoff race for the last three seasons. Last year it delivered. It was fun as hell. It was an awesome race. Hopefully, in 2025, it's awesome too. And then the last race of the season will be at the Kotzebue Mile, August 16th. The best track in all of bike racing. It hasn't disappointed in a long time, and it deserves to host the finale before this season goes farewell. So that's a race I'm really excited for. Is that um I can't wait for that race in particular. Those races. So the mile has two really important races next year: the 100th race and the championship race. So yeah, I think it's a great schedule. I think I did a really good job. Um, we'll find out how it goes, and we'll see. And another thing that I'd like to clear up is just so that everybody knows our weather policy. Um, the only time I'm going to stop a race and red flag a race if there's a thunderstorm and it's really like almost on top of us. That's how I'm gonna stop a race. That's what happened at the mile last year. Um, so yeah, almost if there's a thunderstorm and it's heading this way, and once it gets almost on top of us, the race is being stopped. But I never want to finish a race like that. I always want to have it finish under green. There has been some where it's finished under caution, but yeah, it's that's something I like to point out, just in case if there's a situation. The only way we're not doing a race on a day is if there's a thunderstorm and it's rolling through for a while. So, yeah, just to let everybody know, because I know there's fans to this shit. Um, but yeah, that's it for the 2025 schedule. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope y'all enjoy it this upcoming fall and next year from January to August. So thank y'all for watching. I'm RV, and I'm out. Peace. And see y'all later for Diecast Racing Series at Homestead. That's coming out later today. Be ready. See y'all soon.